Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Kyrielle and today we are doing two looks with the new BeautyBay New Romantic palette. I did an initial first impressions on this. If you'd like to check that out, first of all, I'll leave it in the eye over here. But today we're doing two looks with it. I've been playing around with this for a little while now. I've created quite a few looks with it. It's battered and bruised. But I was determined to play with this a little bit more and give you my overall thoughts after really playing with the formulas. I've been trying different primers with glitter glue, without glitter glue. Like, I've really been trying this palette out. I've done a more neutral look, which is this one here, but then I've also created a more bold look, which you'll see first. I dived into the actual pinks a little bit more. So yeah, I also gave my overall thoughts at the end of the video, so make sure to stay tuned to the end. If you are new here, I'd love it if you've subscribed. I upload every Monday and Thursday, so I'm always playing around with something. Just hit the red button down below and the little bell button so you get notified of my future content and join this little community we've got going. Okay, so hey guys, Ed and Kyrielle just jumping in here. I need to announce the winner of the Jaclyn Hill Volume 2 palette from my gemstone video, which if you haven't checked that out, I'll put it in the eye for you guys. In that video I asked you guys to comment the flame emoji, so that is what I'm using for my filter. As per usual, I'm just using a random comment generator online. And yeah, congratulations Lulu for winning the palette. I'll be in touch with you obviously. Thank you guys for commenting on that video and talking with me in the comments. There will be more giveaways in the future, so keep your eyes out because I am just putting them in random videos. But yeah, congratulations again. And now let's resume on with this video. Without further ado, let's get into the very first look using this palette. Alright, so this is the first look that I'm doing. It's a little bit more, not dramatic, but it's got a little bit more depth to it. And also, I forgot to mention in the palette review that I actually picked up one of their liquid eyeshadows. This is in the shade Morganite, and I really wanted to use this. So I've used this as kind of like a duochrome liner. Yeah, I just think it's really pretty, so that's what we're going to be doing for the first look of this video. Let's first of all prime. I'm going to use the Sigma eyeshadow primer. This is in the shade Ignite. Just going to pat that on, then blend it out and take it slightly past the brow a little bit. First colour I'm going in with is Claret. I think this is very much like the focal colour of this whole palette. It is kind of my like go-to one for this palette, but I'm just going to start our cut crease. Just following the natural shape of my eye while my eyes are open so I can see where the deepest colour is going to be. Although I am going to be adding some black to this, so this is just our shape. And then once the majority of the product is off, I'm just going to wiggle around the edges to blend it out slightly. Alright, now I'm going to go in with the shade Smoothie and I'm going to blend these edges a little bit. Where our shape is going to take place. So to draw the eye out a little bit more on an angle, I'm going to start almost creating a triangle shape out here with the shadow. Very rough triangle shape, but it is starting to flare out. And again, once the excess is off, I'm just going to flare out the edges a little bit more. And now I'm going in with the shade Flamingo, and I'm going to do exactly the same. Going in with a slightly fluffier brush to go in with a lighter hand, and I want to keep this really blended, so this brush helps with that. And then to encourage the outer triangle shape, I'm just doing little flicks and pulling the shadow out. Right, now I'm going to go into the shade Saddle, which isn't quite a black, but it is a very deep tone, so it works for deepening the outer shadow. And I'm just going to keep my eyes open, hug the colour very close to the crease, and almost tilting my brush on a downward angle so I don't transfer too much of the colour up and blend it too far. I'm not worried about getting it on my lid because I'm going to clean that up anyway. I'm holding the brush at the very tip of the handle, so I've got a very feather-light application. Can also help as well if you push into your actual crease. It feels a bit uncomfortable, but it stops you actually transferring up to the kind of hooded area up here if you're actually directly in there. Obviously if you don't have hooded eyes, this won't affect you. And I am just bringing this colour onto the outer corner as well. Once the colour is down, I know I look a little bit crazy, but I'm just going to wipe off the brush and just soften the edges a little bit more where I've placed that deeper colour. Try not to pull the colour up though, just kind of wiggle the edges slightly. And if you are worried about it moving upwards and too far, pull into the actual lid instead of blending up, pull in, and it just helps you control a little bit more. It's almost like a little patting motion. Okay, now I've done that, I'm gonna go back in with the initial colours that we started with, go back over them, re-intensify them, make sure none of them are lost, and then I'm gonna remove the actual product on my lid and cut the crease with my primer again, and then we'll add the shimmers. Just to let you know, I've only been filming for 21 minutes. That's pretty amazing for filming for me, especially since I've done this much. Like, that is pretty nuts. Okay, the next shade I'm going in with is called Chintz, which is this pretty pale lavender kind of shimmer, and I'm just going to attach this to the lid. I found this primer really helps this shadow. The difficult bit in the beginning was actually just getting it on the brush. It doesn't like to pick up very much on the brush at all, and I found that this formula really pops off in this primer. Like, I've tried it on the P. Louise one, I've tried it on concealer. This just really helps intensify the shine. It is very like chunky though. It's weird, it's like creamy and crumbly, like all at the same time. Please explain that to me. You do have to kind of like kick up and disturb the product to get this on the actual lid, which is not ideal, but once you get it on there, it is beautiful. Okay, now I'm going to take the shade Royal and just base this on the outer corner. Only very slightly, I'm not really adding a lot of this colour, just to help fade it and add a little bit of a gradient, you know. I did check, by the way, on the BeautyBay website to see if there was different actual formulations to the shimmers, and they're not actually labelled as different formulation. They may have different ingredients, but they're all just listed as shimmers. They're not listed as like different metallics or anything like that, so I do find the inconsistency like a little bit weird. I just wish they would say like one's like a foiled shadow, one's just a standard shimmer, but they don't. I'm just patting over with the original Chintz shade just to blend those two together, and then I'm just going to go back in with Saddle and just tap over the edges to blend this also. Make sure I'm all even. Right, now I'm going to do this little liner situation. I'm just going to take this on a liner brush. This is just from a set from Amazon. It's just like some artist brushes. It comes with loads of different sizes and everything. I'll link it down below if you're interested. It was decently priced. And I'm just going to put this across the lid, decently thick, not too thin, but I'm not winging it out or anything. I'm just stopping at the outer corner and then I'm going to blend it. So let's do this real quick. I hope some of that was in focus. I just realized, sorry, I think I might have been out of focus for some of that. I hope I have some salvageable footage. When I originally did this look, I was planning to use Raspberry for this, so if you don't have the liquid shadow and you have the palette, you could use the shade Raspberry and that would be really pretty as well. But yeah, that's the duochrome kind of liner. I'm now just going to take a little bit of Saddle again, and I'm just going to blend this into that liquid shadow. Alright, so that's it for the top shadow. I have a little bit of fallout because the shimmers are a bit crumbly, but I'm going to go ahead, do my base, and then I'll come back and we'll finish off the eyes together. So I'll be just 1 second. Alright, so I've done part of my base. I kind of want to finish it up with you guys, just with like my cheeks and my lips and stuff. We'll do that together at the end. But I finished up this eye. I decided to go darker on the lower lash line than what I usually would, and to use a few more of the colours. First of all, I'm just going in with the shade Claret, and I'm taking this halfway across the lower lash line. Then I'm taking the shade Muffin, which is more of a neutral shade, but I kind of wanted to add this in so the focus was more on the lid, you know? So I just run this across the inner half and also blended out the Claret shade with this. And then I wanted to introduce a little bit more of an earthy or warmer tone into this, so I went into the shade Ember, and I just basically went over the top of everything. For my inner corner highlight, I'm going in with the shade Oyster. Just gonna put this right here. The shimmer is like one of the best in the palette, And that is all I did for the shadow. I'm now gonna tightline with the BeautyBay eye crayon in the shade Coffee, and in the waterline I'm going in with the NYX eye pencil in the shade Cafe. Then I'm gonna add some mascara. I'm just using the Makeup Revolution Lift and Define 5D Lash Mascara. For lashes I'm using Pound Lashes in Sweet Love. I really like this pair. Okay, so here are the finished eyes. I think they're really pretty. But now I want to do the rest of the face to kind of match myself up. So let's zoom you guys on out. I look like Thingamabob from Lord of the Rings when I wear my hair like this. I hate it. Except my hair is all frizzy and curly, but there we go. Alright, so I'm thinking lots of blush and a bold lip. I haven't done anything bold in literally so long, and I just feel like going all out with the pink. So let's do it. I'm actually going to go into the palette and use it as a blush, because why not? I'm first of all going to go in with Flamingo, see how that works out, tap off all the excess, and I'm going to do it like really high, so like in the temple, and then kind of like merge it in, like almost bring the eyeshadow down onto my face. Very like 80s. These eyeshadows are very blendable, so I don't see why this wouldn't work. I'm bringing it up into the forehead as well. I'm almost keeping it like on my cheekbone, like just below it, and I'm probably gonna like blend my highlight into it. May also put some like on the tip of my nose as well. I think I'm gonna go in with the tiniest amount of Milkshake right on the outer corner just to add some dimension. It is really pigmented, so I'm trying not to go too ham. Alright, so add a little bit to the nose. I think that's all I want to do for blush. Obviously, if you wanted this to be wearable, you don't have to do this. For highlight, I'm going to use my Soph X Revolution palette, and I think I'm going to mix the gold and the pink together to kind of merge it into the blush, you know? But let's add some pink highlight to seal the deal, you know? Ooh. That's so cute. And then finally for the lips, I'm gonna go in with this, which is by Fenty Beauty. It's part of their Christmas like gift collection thing. This is in the shade Underrated, and I just think it's gonna go perfectly because it's like a deep berry color. So I'm just gonna whack this on real quick. Sorry guys, my camera just died, so I may have moved a little bit, but oh my god, this color is so beautiful and perfect for this look. I love it. I think what I want to do is just blow out the shadow a little bit, and that'll be the look complete. I'm gonna go sort out my hair, and then we shall do the obligatory montage. See you guys in a sec. Alright, when I said 80s, I meant 80s. God, I just cannot get this waving my hair right. I always like look crazy. I think it's because I've got too much hair, but I tried. I feel like I look like I should put like a headband on and have some dumbbells to like work out or something. You know what I mean? You will not catch me in a leotard. Never again. That's enough said on that. Anyway, so this is the first look. It's a bit more dramatic. My second one is going to be a little bit more subdued. But yeah, I just wanted to go kind of all out with this one. I may take some pictures for Instagram and maybe add some like little love hearts as like freckles or something. I don't know, but I really love this. The matte shades in here really do blend like a dream, but I'll give more thoughts on the palette at the end of the video. I quite like the duochrome eyeshadow. I don't know if it's really coming across on camera, but it has a peach to pink kind of shift. I don't think I swatched it earlier, so I'll just do that now for you guys. But it does set down completely matte, so it's kind of lost its shine like a little bit, but it's still really pretty and I like it as a liner. Obviously I haven't used it all over my lid, so I don't know about creasing or anything like that, but it has not transferred onto my crease or anything. So that's a good sign. May I just say as well, this colour in this formula, to die for, and not patchy at all. Right now, without further ado, let's get into look number 2. Okay, so it's day 2. Let's do the second look. I feel like it always looks crap, like without my base and everything done, but this is what it looks like. It's just basically a neutral smoky eye with a metallic gold liner, but I feel like it's something different, so this is what we're doing. I'm going in with my Sigma primer again. The first shade I'm going in with is Muffin, and I'm going to use this to map out our kind of wing shape. I'm going to base the initial colour on the lid, keeping it really tight knit to the inner corner, but then on the outer corner I'm going to bring it out slightly on the crease and towards the brow. I'm putting the initial bulk of colour on the actual mobile lid, and then I'm just using the excess on my brush to flare and fan it out. I'm using my inner corner as almost an anchor to come back to, so I know the shape of the wing that I want to create. So it's almost like I'm creating a line from my inner corner to the tail of my brow, if that makes any sense. See, this differs between everybody's brow shape and eye shape and everything, but this is the way I'm doing it for my own eye shape. Okay, so now we have something like this. I'm now going to go into the shade Lingerie and I'm going to blend this out. This I can be a little bit more careless with, but I'm still keeping it on that general angle. I'm also going to bring this slightly past my inner corner because I am going to be extending my inner corner. So I just want to start that and encourage that kind of shape. Make this easier on yourself when you are doing this. Make sure you look away in the other direction, just because it helps you be a little bit more careless. You can't see a brush like directly in your inner corner because it's a sensitive part of your eye. So, and I'm just using excess to do that, by the way. All right, now those two colors are down, I'm gonna go in with the shade Vanilla and I'm just gonna set this area in the inner corner with the shade. I'm just taking a big fluffy brush and I'm just gonna go over the edges and blend even more. Now I've done that, I'm just gonna go back in with those three colors and re-intensify and blend a little bit more. Okay, so now it's time to deepen up the lash line to help us create the wing. So I'm going in with the shade Saddle and I'm just going to roughly create the shape where I want my wing to go. Now that's on that, I'm going to take a little brush and blend it out. I'm going to go in with the initial brush we used and blend it out even further. It just has excess product on it, so I'll just help it a little bit more. I'm actually just going to take a little bit of Saddle on this initial brush, just the smallest amount on the tip of the brush, tapping off all of the excess, and I'm just going to blend this even further because I don't want this harsh line at all. On the outer corner it's fine, but on the actual lid I just want it to be very blended. Okay, now that's all blended, it's time to do the metallic liner. So for me to get more precision and also get the most out of the metallic, I went in with a base and I'm using the NYX glitter primer. As I have said, these shimmers are kind of like flaky, so I'm introducing the glitter glue to help them out a little bit. Also, I'm kind of testing things for hooded lids because I know you guys want me to do more videos on tips and tricks for hooded lids, so I'm testing some things out. Okay, I am hoping to do more videos on that for you guys, but anyway, I'm just gonna apply the glitter glue in my wing shape, ready to apply the metallic. I'm gonna do the lid first and then do the wing afterwards. It's just easier to do it in stages because the glue dries, obviously. Alright, and that is it for the top shadow. It's pretty simple, right? I don't know, I just thought about different ways I could use some of the shadows, so quite like this. Obviously I need to clean up a little bit and sharpen the line, so I'm gonna go ahead, do that, do my base and everything, and I'm just gonna keep the lower lash line really simple and just use the colours that I used on top of the lid below. But yeah, I'll go ahead and finish up and I'll be right back. Alright you guys, so this is the finished second look. It's not my best work. And also my hair is looking kind of insane, but you know what, it's fine. But yeah, I wanted to play around with some of the neutrals in the palette, so this is what I came up with. It's kind of soft, kind of bold, kind of smoky, like all of the things. On my lower lash line, before I forget, I just used Lingerie all over, and then I added a little bit of Muffin on the outer corner just to deepen it up a little bit. And then I just used the BeautyBay Crayon eyeliner in the shade Coffee on the waterline, but I didn't bring it all the way in. And yeah, all my base products and my lashes will be in the description box for you guys. But yeah, let's talk about my thoughts. Let's have a chat about this palette. The colours in here are beautiful. I feel like you can get a really nice look with them. They're very blendable. The shimmers are very shimmery, but as I've previously said, there's some inconsistencies with the shimmers. Some are creamier, some are very crumbly, some are almost putty-like. The putty-like ones are just a bit difficult to work with. I've tried using this with my fingers as well, because at this point I've tried multiple looks. Like I sat down one day and just wiped off about 10 different eye looks to come up with ideas for this video, and I had a few problems personally. This is kind of a monochrome palette. When you use these shades together, they just kind of all blend into one, which can be a good thing, but can also be a bad thing. And I feel like the mattes are so blendable and so similar in tone that you can't differentiate between the colors. So I feel like the shade Birthday is redundant because the shade Flamingo actually blends out to this shade. So that's just not needed in the palette at all. I also feel like Smoothie is so close to Flamingo. Like there's just some shades in here that are definitely not needed. I understand you want blend-in shades, but when these shades blend so well, it's not so much a necessity anymore. Especially when you have more of like a skin tone shade. Well, in my case, it's a skin tone shade. So I could just use this if I was struggling, but I just feel like there's too many shades in this palette that aren't needed. And also some of the shimmers are just very close together, like Raspberry and Queen. I just feel like both of them aren't needed in here. Like, I don't know. I feel like I'm putting a downer on this palette, but I'm just being completely honest. I'd prefer to go to like my Stacey Marie palette, my BeautyBay X Mitchell palette. Like there's so many other ones where I can get these kind of tones that don't disappear when you blend them on top of each other. If you like the color story and you're intrigued by the shimmers and everything like that, you may consider buying it, but personally I just don't think it's for me, and I may end up passing it on. If I could take out one shade and keep it, it would probably be Claret, because I really like that shade. Oh, and maybe Penny. Those two I feel like are special to me. Also for me, neutral wise, I actually prefer going to the Book of Magic palette. These tones by here are perfect for me and my skin tone. And then if I want to deepen it up, there's Manifest and Hex. They just work really well. And I just feel like the shimmers and the brights in here perform way better than the New Romance palette. But yeah, so that is my thoughts on this palette. Overall, after playing with it quite a bit, please let me know your thoughts down below. Have you got it? Do you agree? And let me know if you like these looks. Like this one, I'm gonna be going to the post office in it, so that's great. Please leave a thumbs up also if you did like this video. If you're just now coming across my channel and you're new here, if you like honest reviews on makeup products and just makeup in general, then feel free to subscribe. All you need to do is hit the red button down below and the little bell button, and that'll just notify you when I upload next, which is every Monday and Thursday. And yeah, that is it for me. I hope I see you on the next one. Till then, bye guys.